the Saturday late night fixture between Chelsea and Bournemouth was a very epic fixture. And in our video today, we are going to do a post-match analysis on this game. I believe that this game had a lot of tactical changes that Enzo Maresca made, especially at halftime, and this actually affected the overall result. So one key missing player in this game was Enzo Fernandez, who is actually currently Chelsea's captain with the long-term injury of Reece James, and Reece James' injury woes. It looks like Enzo will be the captain this season. Now, I was not able to make this video before because I had issues with my laptop that are now fixed, but let's look at the tactics behind this. We saw key moments in the first half with Sanchez securing Chelsea a penalty save, and in the second half, Christopher Nkunku and Jadon Sancho coming up with a moment of magic to actually create the only goal in the game that saw Chelsea bag all the 3 points, as Chelsea now sit at 8th place with 7 points. Before we start our analysis, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Now, Chelsea were not quite the best in this game. They looked quite shaky in the first half, and this might be as a result of the personnel as well as the setup. I believe that the setup was not well thought out in the first half, and this might have tied Enzo Maresca's hand because of the international break. Now, looking at Chelsea's lineup, Chelsea lined up with a 4-2-3-1, Disasi playing at fullback together with Cucurella, Fofana and Colwill at centre-back, Caicedo and Viega in midfield, Neto and Madueke in the wide areas, Cole Palmer playing as the number 10, and Nicholas Jackson leading the line. Key players in the subs were Felix and Jadon Sancho. Now, in the first half, Chelsea looked to establish themselves in their 3-2-3 structure, maybe that box-shaped midfield. And this box-shaped midfield is the structure that Enzo Maresca has preferred Chelsea to line up with. Now, this structure involved Disasi tucking into the backline and Cucurella moving into that left half space position. Now, Viega actually started in midfield, and Enzo Maresca actually preferred having neither of his fullbacks inverting, but having Viega playing alongside Caicedo. Though this partnership, because it was quite new, both players did not understand each other and Caicedo looked quite shaky. Cucurella played in an advanced role in the left half space, playing to try and create those overloads together with Pedro Neto, while Palmer moved into that right half space. The problem of having Cucurella in this, Cucurella played similar to how Rico Lewis plays for Pep Guardiola nowadays at Manchester City. Now, further up, we looked at the backline, and Fofana was playing as the central defender in this position. And in this position, he was limited because he could only pass the ball sideways. Unlike when we have a ball-playing centre-back like Colwill or Tosin in that position, who was able to open up the pitch when playing in this central centre-back position. Now, the teams knew how to press Chelsea. Now, Bournemouth would press Chelsea in a 4-2-3-1 system, but their forward line will play quite narrow, with one player picking one pivot, the one winger sitting on one pivot, while the players looking to force the ball to be played towards Disasi, who they believed was quite vulnerable. And once the ball will be recycled towards Disasi, Disasi was not a ball-playing centre-back. He was slow, he was clumsy, and this is how Bournemouth managed to get the best out of Chelsea, because they understood Disasi was playing in an unnatural position. Now, here they will either look to cut all the passing lanes for Disasi in field as well as out wide. That's why Noni Madueke also did not receive the ball initially in the first half, as he had actually anticipated to receive. This forced Disasi to either try to dribble with the ball or pass the ball where it would be lost, or try to play the ball back to the goalkeeper. Sometimes this actually even led to mistakes from Disasi, and this really angered the fan base because he was really clumsy in this position. And this is where actually Bournemouth managed to have a lot of chances against Chelsea. Looking at this structure, you can see Bournemouth have managed to intercept the ball from Noni Madueke, and look at the position of Disasi, look at the position of Colwill and Fofana, who are picking the two forwards, and now there is huge acres of space in behind Disasi that the ball can be played. And that is what actually happens. The ball is played to that position. Disasi, rather than looking to track his man, is asking Fofana to come out. But Fofana cannot come out, because if he comes out, then there is a simple pass in behind for this forward who can actually run towards goal. And this actually put Chelsea in a very difficult predicament, because now Fofana could not step out. Disasi is slow and is actually not even able to track back. And now Bournemouth are wasteful, because if this Bournemouth player could just play this ball in behind Fofana, then they will have an easy cutback and score the first goal against Chelsea. Now, that was the defensive line problems. Now, down the attacking line, especially down the left, remember the game against Wolves, Chelsea looked to create overloads down the left by having Pedro Neto and probably a midfielder such as Fernandes in that position. Now, the problem here is that Chelsea had two left-footed players, and these two left-footed players just looked to drift towards the touchline. Cucurella was not quite an offensive threat in that position, because Pedro Neto was a left-footed player who would also hug the touchline. So both players could only offer crosses from this position. And even when Neto had the ball, Cucurella will just look to try and make that underlapping run, and nobody will look to occupy the half-space region. Neither did we see Nicholas Jackson actually drop into that position, similar to what he used to do, but rather that position will be left vacant and actually create problems. So Enzo Maresca had to make tactical changes at halftime, and these tactical changes at halftime involved bringing in Jadon Sancho into the team. Now, Jadon Sancho coming into the team will come to actually create something unique and offer something unique for the team in this game. So Jadon Sancho in this position with Cucurella, they had just normal chemistry. Cucurella would make that underlapping run, and Sancho would have two options: either play the ball to Cucurella or look to actually use his stronger right foot to cut in and look to play the ball to Jackson. And initially in the first half, he would have time and space to actually do this. Another thing about Jadon Sancho is his ability of dropping deep to receive the ball. He was very strong in holding the ball. He was very skillful in actually beating his opponents, and this actually gave him the edge against Bournemouth. He will receive the ball, look to turn, and because he's a very elite dribbler, he will draw a lot of players towards him and actually create problems for the opponent, them being unable to whether to come out and try to press him or looking to sit back. And this actually opened up room for Marc Cucurella to make those underlapping runs. Because of this position that Sancho was receiving, he was now able to thread balls to the attacking midfielders such as Palmer and Nicholas Jackson, as well as his ability to get nibble through tight spaces actually opened up the left wing areas for Chelsea. Now, Chelsea's position in this case was actually a 3-2-5, with Cucurella and Palmer in those half space, and João Felix coming in to occupy the right half space, with Palmer playing as a wide right winger. And we also saw how Sancho managed to maintain the width. You can see here Sancho has received the ball in a dangerous position, but look at Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella is the one who passed the ball, and you can see that the centre back is actually going to shift across. Now, because Sancho has received the ball in this position, he can already spot that Cucurella is about to make that run beyond him. So once he receives this ball from Cucurella, he's looking to actually play that ball. And one of the greatest thing about Sancho is the way he looked to stay out wide, to hug the touchline. And because he was actually cutting in with his right foot, it actually gave him more advantage compared to having Pedro Neto playing down that left wing. And in that position, he will spot Marc Cucurella, and he will know how to weigh his pass. And also, him being in this position actually even gave him an ability to actually attempt a shot on goal that will be very devastating for Bournemouth. Now, once he received the ball in this case, he would look to play Marc Cucurella, and Marc Cucurella would attempt to make that cutback. The problem was the movement of Nicholas Jackson in the box, as well as João Felix, was not quite the best. But if maybe Nkunku had played in this game earlier on, then probably Chelsea would have stamped their authority by actually scoring those goals. Or if Cole Palmer maintained his number 10 position, he would also find himself in the end of one of these crosses. And this is how Jadon Sancho managed to change the game for Chelsea in the second half. His ability to stay out wide, his ability to receive the ball with his stronger right foot, and his ability to actually have a good chemistry with Marc Cucurella. Because when you actually have your fullback playing in this position, you need your fullback to know how to make those half-space runs. And those half-space runs are the reason why Dewsbury Hall was actually brought in. I will give my honest opinion on the lineup and the overall personnel of the team, but that generally was the tactical change that saw Enzo Maresca win the game for Chelsea. Now, this game against Bournemouth indicates the heavy importance of Enzo Fernandez in the team. His passing, his ability to actually drop deep and help Caicedo build the game actually gave Chelsea control in games. Though Chelsea did not perform quite well at Stamford Bridge, but Fernandes being in the team gives Chelsea much more control compared to when Chelsea do not have him on the pitch. It is very impressive that you are going to see Romeo Lavia coming back into the team, and this is actually even going to add more steel and much more balance into that midfield region. I do not approve the playing of Disasi at right back. Disasi was not quite well at right back, and it is good if we even start Fofana in that position, because Fofana playing as a wide centre back is a position that we know. The introduction of Tosin Adrabio in the second half also ensured that Chelsea had that stability in that central centre back position, a player who could actually receive the ball and look to distribute the ball evenly in the pitch, as well as having players such as Fofana having the freedom to carry the ball from the centre-back position and draw in players. These slight tactical adjustments that Enzo Maresca made into the game gave Chelsea the much-needed change that saw Chelsea actually win this game. If you like this analysis, do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will compensate the days that I've been away by producing even more videos tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you again in our next video that will be dropping soon. Thank you.